Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory, and would you just take a look at this weekend forecast? Man, we have earned this, haven't we? It's been just so miserably hot and humid. Yesterday we were sort of coming out of it, and then starting today, just gorgeous weather through the entire weekend. Lots of sunshine, highs in the lower 80s today, tomorrow, and then Sunday a little warmer. We start to climb back into the mid 80s. The only hiccup in this forecast is there is an air quality alert. That air quality alert stretches from the Great Lakes region through the entire state of Minnesota and Iowa, and then continues south through the entire state of Illinois. So that does include the counties that we cover in Illinois, in southeast Illinois. So that air quality alert is until midnight tonight, and it's for wildfire smoke from Canadian wildfires. I think most of this is going to stay farther north in those areas up closer to the Great Lakes, but just know there is an air quality alert for all of Illinois until midnight tonight, and that is because the air quality may be considered unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if you have some kind of heart or lung disease, specifically things like asthma or COPD, just take it easy out there today and be on the lookout for any coughing or shortness of breath. But again, I don't think it'll be a major issue, and for most of the population this is not a concern, which means we're all free to just enjoy this beautiful weather. And I mentioned at the beginning of the show, man, have we earned it. Look at the month of July in the tri-state. So many days in the 90s. There were only 6 days out of 31 where we didn't hit 90 or higher, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of those was 88 or greater. Yesterday was 87. The coolest day of the whole month was back on Saturday the 19th. We had a high of 82 that day, and the only reason that day was cooler is because we had heavy rain and flooding going through that afternoon, which briefly cooled us off there. More than 2 inches of rain fell in Evansville on that day. We've had more than 2 inches of surplus rain this month, and the temperature, 82.3 was our average temperature. The coolest low we had the whole month of July was only 68 degrees. So most of this month we've been looking at lows only reaching the mid 70s. That's very warm even through the night, and so on average we've been about 3.5 degrees warmer than you would typically expect for July, which is already a very hot month. When all is said and done, it was the 16th wettest July on record in Evansville and the 8th warmest, but it's, I believe, the second warmest in the past 30 years. So a lot of those really hot Julys go all the way back to the 1930s when we were in the middle of the Dust Bowl. It was dry, everything was in a drought, you had temperatures climbing into the triple digits, but in more recent history, I think 2012 is the only one that beats us out in the last 30 years. So a very hot July, but now we're getting some relief. You can really see where that cold front is currently moving through to our south-southeast. Here in Evansville, it's currently 5 degrees cooler than it was at this same time yesterday, but by this time yesterday, that cold front was already moving through. The cooler, drier air was already starting to move in. There are the clouds and the rain that come along with that cold front, but again, all of that has passed to our south now. We've got just a few fair weather clouds over western Kentucky, but in general, a lot of sunshine across the tri-state today, and it's going to stay nice and clear through the rest of the day today. Perfect weather for any Friday night plans. We'll see a few passing clouds overnight tonight and throughout the day on Saturday, but tomorrow also mostly sunny. As we get into Sunday, just one minor change. I still think it'll be mostly sunny, but we may catch an isolated shower mainly on the southeast corner of the tri-state, mainly in western Kentucky Sunday evening, and also that rain will be coming in from the south-southeast. That's not where our weather usually comes from, so don't be caught off guard by that. Any rain we see would be very spotty, but it will continue to linger then through Sunday night and into Monday as we get caught in kind of a mildly unsettled weather pattern. Temperatures are sitting in the upper 70s to low 80s right now. It's currently 81 in Evansville. We've got a cool, dry breeze coming in from the north, and our dew points are sitting in the low to mid 60s, even 50s as you get north of I-64, which means the humidity has dropped dramatically. It feels really incredible out there right now. So if you are headed out to any of the county fairs going on right now, or maybe Friday after 5, perfect weather for that. I think we'll tack on just a couple more degrees this afternoon, topping out in those lower 80s. Then we'll gradually drop back through the 70s as we approach sunset with that cool breeze from the northeast and nice low humidity. It's about as good as it gets for early August. By the end of the night tonight, we'll dip into the low 60s. I just mentioned the coldest low we've had the whole month of July was 68. So it's been a while since we've had this kind of a nice cool night out there, but that's what we've got in store tonight. So first thing Saturday morning, it's going to be nice and cool out there. Temperatures will then climb into the lower 80s Saturday afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Moving forward into next week, starting Sunday and then continuing through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will see just a couple degrees warmer with highs in the mid 80s. Then we really start to warm up by the end of the week, but the humidity is where you really feel that difference. It was just miserably humid all of the past couple weeks. Yesterday, we started to see that drier air coming in. The dew point started to trend down. It's going to continue to drop as we go through the rest of today, and then really pleasant dry air over the tri-state throughout the day Saturday and even carrying into Sunday. But notice Sunday we start to see that humidity trending back up. It's not going to get miserable, stifling air you can wear kind of humidity like we were dealing with the past couple weeks, but we will trend back up into that muggy range then as we get into next week. And with that, we see the return of some rain chances. So I mentioned that isolated chance of a few showers to the southeast Sunday evening. Then throughout the day Monday, I think it's going to be mostly cloudy with just very hit or miss rain. It's not real organized or widespread, but just at any time throughout the day on Monday, you may get caught under a quick shower or maybe even a thunderstorm. And we see that kind of unsettled pattern lingering into Tuesday as well. Wednesday looks mostly dry, but we may still catch a stray shower Wednesday evening before we really start to dry things out by the time we get into Thursday. As for our temperatures, I mentioned we're looking at highs in the mid 80s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. By the end of next week, though, we do start to trend back into the upper 80s, maybe even low 90s. Not the kind of miserable heat and humidity we've been dealing with for most of the month of July, but still a trend back toward that kind of summer-like feel by the end of next week. I do want to mention with these thunderstorm chances Monday, Tuesday, and even into Wednesday, it's, like I said, not organized. It's very hit or miss. Not everyone's going to see that rain. We're not expecting anything widespread, and right now we're not expecting anything severe either. Obviously, we'll update you if that changes, but right now it looks like it'll just be a few hit or miss, just kind of nuisance showers and thunderstorms out there. Good afternoon, Sonia and Teresa. Yeah, big fan of the cool down here as well, Teresa. So we're all really grateful for that. So just be aware you may run into a little rain first half of next week. By the end of next week, it does heat back up. But for right now, just enjoy this absolutely beautiful weekend. It feels incredible out there, and there's a lot going on as we get into the weekend as well. Jamie French will have a little more on some of those events coming up in just a few minutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices. Live from 14 News, This is a 14 Digital News Desk update.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French. Rob is still on vacation. He'll be back with us on Monday, so you just have me this afternoon. But I am going to walk you through some of the events that are happening across the tri-state this weekend and tonight as well. Like you heard Arden say, it is going to be a beautiful weekend, so perfect time to get outside, sort of soak up that last little bit of summer. We've got school starting next week, so really get out and enjoy the weather tonight. We are going to start with Friday After 5 tonight because it's actually their season finale. So let me walk you through some of the things you can expect tonight. We've got the main stage at 7. That's where you're going to get the headliner, Will Mosley, performing with special guest Jack Wharf Band and Southern Sirens. So they will be on the big stage there at Friday After 5. I want to show you guys this graphic, but for some reason, it's turned sideways for me. So we'll just come back on camera because you guys can't even read that. Anyway, Overlook Stage, Andrea Rich and Busted Flat will be performing at 6:05. I've heard them before. I can attest they are great. And then also the street fairs, of course. There's going to be lots of food trucks and vendors open at 5 as well. And if you see our sweet Michael Fecka, our meteorologist, will be down there doing live weather for you tonight. So make sure you say hi to him. He'll be out and about. Let's also talk about something maybe for the bookworms out there. The EVPL summer book sale is happening this weekend. So today we got to look at the setup crew out there working hard, unloading thousands of boxes of books, and they were dividing them up onto different tables so it's a little more organized for shoppers. There's tables of mystery books and even cookbooks and children's books, fiction, all the things, plus some DVDs and CDs as well. We spoke with the president of the EVPL Foundation, and he says they usually raise about $25,000 from this sale that benefits their foundation, which goes back to the county libraries. So certainly an important event for them. That is happening this weekend. Tomorrow all day, it's from, I believe, 8 to 8, I believe, and then Sunday is in the afternoon there from noon to 3. So any bookworms out there want to go find a good read, you can join that book sale at the Washington Square Mall. Now, another event we have been telling you guys probably for the last few months, it is county fair season. Unfortunately, they are starting to slow down, but in Western Kentucky, one of my fan favorites here, Hopkins County Fair, is starting tonight. This one's always so fun. They always have such good food. It gets underway tonight. The gates will open at 5:30. A little bit of events tonight at 6 o'clock. The Rabbit Show begins. At 7 is the pageants, Little Miss and Mr. Pageant. There's also the Top Dog Demolition Derby. That's always fun. And then this year they do have some live music as well. So at 8, Clayton Q will take the stage at the Scotts Pavilion. This fair is going to run all next week. It ends next Saturday, August 9th. So if you can't make it out tonight, you have plenty of time to do so. And I'm sure we'll have more county fair coverage as the summer sort of continues here. But again, like Arden said, beautiful weekend, so make sure you get out and enjoy it. We will have more news headlines for you and more events happening this weekend later tonight on 14 News at 4, 5, 6, and then again at 10. But that'll wrap things up this afternoon. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.